The fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance Agency.
Win the incredible Steigercraft, Evinrude, Loran's Grand Prize Boat Package, and more in the Fisherman's 2018 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details at thefisherman.com.
Not a lot of changes since last weekend's reports, thanks to the never-ending southerly stiff winds, a rough ocean, and a threat of thunderstorms that kept most South Shore boats tied to the dock. Before the seas kicked up, ocean fluking along the South Shore and in Montauk was on the upswing, and big stripers continue to please anglers in the Montauk rips. The southeast and south winds had less effect on the North Shore, especially in the western sound where porgy fishing never missed a beat. The offshore scene, which saw fishing for big eye and billfish break wide open last week, was put on hold this week due to the sea conditions. Captain Dave on the Viking Star sailed both morning and afternoon trips on Tuesday and was able to put together a good catch of fluke, sea bass, and porgies despite tough conditions. He also felt the fluke fishing had been taking a turn for the better. Captain John on the Shinnecock Star was working the bay on Tuesday due to the rough ocean conditions and said they were picking away at some nice fluke in the shallows on bucktails and teasers. On the South Shore, Captain Walter on the Captree Fish Finder worked the bay and inlet on Monday and reported good fluke action for a light crowd with a good showing of keepers. Dylan at Captree Bait and Tackle said there continues to be a nice pick of fluke, shorts, and keepers on both Captree piers. Bucktails tipped with Gulp have been producing the best results. The best fishing has been on the last couple hours of the incoming and the start of the ebb. Now let's go to Captain Al Lorenzetti and find out the best bet for the weekend.
Looks like the best bet for this weekend is going to be fluke fishing inside. Had a couple of keepers yesterday. Friday's not going to be fishable offshore. Saturday looks like it might be doable, 2 to 4 with a couple of showers in the morning but no wind. And Sunday looks like a real good day to get offshore. Last time I fished outside, I had really good sea bass and some fluke on the offshore reef. So I would say inside Friday and inside offshore Saturday and Sunday. That's the best bet for the weekend. Catch them up.
To the west, Bill Witchie at Combs Bait and Tackle in Amityville said the ocean fluking has been shut down by rough seas this week, but there has been steady action along the east side of the inlet, either side of the Meadowbrook Bridge, around the Jones Beach fishing piers near Buoy 12, and along the east side of the 2nd and 3rd Wantor bridges from the 5-mile-an-hour sign to the 2nd bridge. Here again, the most productive tide has been the last 2 hours of the incoming and the first hour of the outgoing. From Bernie's Bait and Tackle in Sheepshead Bay, Jerry told me that some quality fluke to 10 pounds have come from the waters around the Marine Parkway Bridge. Lots of porgies in the bay and also along the seawall for shorebound anglers dunking clams and worms. Up west, porgy fishing in the western sound remained pretty much unaffected by the weather this week. Louie at Island Bait and Tackle on City Island said porgy fishing continues to be outstanding at the Pelham Bay Bridge, Orchard Beach, Section 1, Eastchester Bay, Hudson Park, and Glen Island. Worms or clams and clam chum are the ticket to a bucket full of scup. In the surf, bluefish from 2 to 5 pounds have been roaming the Fire Island Inlet and occasionally coming within range of Surfcasters along the inlet's shoreline on the backside of Demo and Robert Moses. But Montauk remains the place to be this summer. Ray from Paulie's Tackle Shop said big blues to 16 pounds have been busting up tackle along the north side every afternoon. On Tuesday, he replaced 4 broken rods courtesy of these big bluefish. No one, to our knowledge, made it offshore this week due to the rough seas, but before the ocean kicked up, the fishing was hot with big eyes, yellowfin, and billfish in the Atlantis, south of Tom's, the Tails, the Dip, Hudson, and Middle Grounds, while the Cambria continued to produce some good bluefin action. Breaking news, we just got word that NOAA Fisheries is closing the Atlantic bluefin tuna angling category fishery for large, medium, and giant trophy bluefin tuna measuring 73 inches or greater in the northern area effective 11:30 p.m. local time Thursday, July 26, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. The northern area is the area north of 39 degrees 18 north. That's off of Great Egg Inlet in New Jersey. Now let's go to senior editor Fred Golofaro as he gives us some thoughts on how the weekend is shaping up for fishing.
Thanks, Tim. And well, it's been a tough week weather-wise with very little effort due to all the wind, rain, rough seas. Looks like the wind will finally lay down for the weekend. although the marine forecast is calling for 4-foot seas through Saturday and Sunday, which could make it tough for smaller boats to get outside the inlets on the South Shore. The full moon is Friday night, and I'm gonna bet that anybody drifting live eels on night tides in the Montauk rips is in for some wild action, given all the big bass that have taken up residence in those rips. Live baits like porgies and spot should also produce some big fish on daytime tides out there during the moon. For those who can get to them, the South Shore reefs and wrecks, they've been virtually untouched for at least a week now. There should be a good stock of sea bass, porgies, fluke, and ling, maybe some triggerfish too on those locations. So if you can get outside, hit those reefs, you should be in for some pretty good action there. Fluke in all the bays was less affected by all this weather during the week, so I would definitely give that a shot, but I would also plan your fishing around the last couple of hours of the incoming current and the first hour of the outgoing. Light tackle, definitely the way to go with bucktails and gulp, but you might also want to try getting hold of some live snappers. They are in the creeks now and around a lot of the docks. Get hold of some live snappers, drift them, and that'll give you a shot at some better quality fish. For surfcasters, especially those looking to rack up points for the New York surf fishing contest, big bluefish have been tearing up tackle all week long on the north side of Montauk, so definitely head out there. Just plan your timing so you're not caught in any of that east end traffic. And up on the North Shore, you can definitely count on filling a bucket with porgies throughout most of the sound, whether it's from a boat or from the beach, from shore. Clams and worms have been the ticket up there for solid porgy action. Until next week, Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.
Here are some events to check out this weekend: the Mauritius Anglers Fluke Tournament and the 11th Annual KFC Fluke Rodeo. If you'd like to be part of our weekly video fishing forecast, we're looking for social media savvy anglers for hyperlocal reporting from around the New York Metro and Long Island area. So if you're a captain, a tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact me at libayrat@gmail.com. Remember, like our video, subscribe to our YouTube page, and be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Dreamboat contest. Until next week, this is Tim C. Smith for thefisherman.com.